Let's go with a question from Daryl on Facebook. He wants to know, is there an inside and an outside in PV cloth?
Yes. There is an inside and an outside in PV cloth. The outside, the right side of PV cloth is going to be the part that's actually facing away from the kilt that we make if you're just buying fabric. You can tell by, if you're looking at the bottom edge of the fabric, the twill lines are going to run to the up and to the left. If you're looking at the edge of the fabric, up and to the left, that is the correct side of the fabric. That is the side of the fabric that's actually coated with the Teflon coating on it.
Yeah, all fabric is going to have a right side and wrong side. The face is always, when you're going to a bolt, majority of the time the face, the front, is usually rolled to the inside. That way it keeps it
protected.
Yeah, it keeps it protected the whole entire time. So no matter what, majority of all material is going to have a right and wrong side.
Yeah, and the only reason that it's considered right and wrong, because it's woven, so you're going to see the same pattern on both sides. Frankly, it really doesn't matter. If your kilt is made backwards, then it's not really going to matter. The only time it matters is when they are darning the fabric. When they actually weave the fabric, when a string ends in the middle of a run, they have to actually tie a little knot and tie it to the next piece of yarn to continue weaving there. They're going to pull all of those knots up so that the face of the fabric is down. They're going to pull them all to one side, one side of the fabric. And that way it's consistent. So from one side is good, the other side, there may be little tiny, knot flaws. K-N-O-T, not N-O-T. Knot flaws on one side. That being said, it really doesn't matter. And the other thing I'll say is this. Not every mill uses up and to the left as their correct side. For instance, Loch Erin Strom, specifically Loch Erin Strom 16-ounce Loch Erin cloth, goes up and to the right versus their 13-ounce goes up and to the left. So I don't know why that's...
I've always wondered that myself.
Yeah, me too. Now I'm going to be up at night. I don't know why. Loch Erin, why do you do that?
Is the loom they run it on? Does that
no, because they run them both. I don't know. Maybe. I've never been to Loch Erin. It's the Loch Erin headquarters. I've been to a few other mills, but not Loch Erin. So maybe it's a different loom, but I would just assume that they're just changing. They don't have like 8,000 looms where these 3,000 are just dedicated to Strom. So I would guess that they're using multiple looms or the same loom for multiple weights of cloth and multiple things. You just set the loom up a little bit differently. But
does Edgar's change between
No.
their 16? Their double width?
Does their Nevis change?
Ian, do you remember if their Nevis changes at all?
House of Edgar, does their Nevis go the opposite direction?
I'm not sure. Off the
You
top
just
of my
rely
head,
on
to
the
be
little
honest.
sticker that says face.
Yes, pretty much. I look too pretty to be worried about remembering such things.
Yeah, but ultimately, I will say this. Not every mill uses up and to the left. Some use up and to the right. So don't worry too much about it. As long as you don't see visible flaws. And let's go worst case scenario. You get fabric. You make a kilt, and you make it from Loch Erin cloth. You do it backwards. You go, oh, shoot, I screwed up. All you have to, it doesn't really matter. All you have to do is look at the face of the cloth carefully. And in all the different pleats that you've sewn in and the front apron of the kilt, look for little tiny knots that it would be on the surface of the fabric. If you find one, take a seam ripper or take a pin and just gently poke at that knot until you can get it to work through to the other side of the cloth. Then turn it over, take your fingers and kind of just pull at it gently just to make sure that it's on the back side of the cloth. Take your fingers diagonal on the lines and pull it taut a couple times that way, a couple times the other way. Boom, done.
Don't cut it.
Yeah, don't cut that knot. Oh, for the love of God, do not cut that. You're going to end up with a hole. But it's not that big of a deal. If it's the wrong side of the fabric, it's really not that big of a deal.